The new Mr. $500 million himself, Patrick Mahomes, is now the owner of the first $500 million contract. A crazy day for the NFL.
Crazy day for sports. Biggest sports contract ever across any worldwide any sports league. So
he is now clearly the face of the NFL. He is the face of the Chiefs. What are your thoughts on this contract, his yearly, what the Chiefs have moving forward? Give me your takes.
I am not surprised. I mean, maybe by the length of it, because no one, that's not really an NFL move to do 10 years added. So it's technically a 12-year contract. But I think if anyone's going to get it, and anyone should have gotten it within these past decade, it should be him. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion within the first 2 years of the starter. So I think he deserves it. It's definitely going to, affect how they build the team, but I think I do like the contract for him.
So, Patrick Mahomes to me deserves money all day long. Like you said, MVP in the Super Bowl winner already in his second year. I don't think that he's worth $500 million personally. Do I think that he should probably get about that much per year? Yes. Right now, the leader before this contract was going to be Dak at 31.4. I think Mahomes is somewhere between 40 and 50 million probably. I think you would agree with that. But with that being said, $500 million is a lot of money. I think that they could have given him the same amount of money per year on a smaller scale. So I did the math earlier today. They gave him around $250 million for 6 years. That would have been about $41 million. They could have increased that price, obviously, to about $275, $280, given him a little bit more, put him up at $45 million range. Totally fine with that. Totally understand where they're coming from. But they have now destroyed their money for the next 10 years.
Yeah, they are hindering themselves from building a championship team around them. We see it all the time in the stats that the top QBs, they are not the ones winning the Super Bowl. It's the teams with the young quarterback on the young rookie contracts that are building a team around them. So good luck to them when they need to pay everybody again after these contracts. That's the reality of the NFL.
And in order to protect their most valued asset, they're now going to have to try and stack an offensive line. I don't know if you know the exact numbers, but they're going to have to re-sign Tyreek, and they're going to have to re-sign Travis Kelce, because clearly this is an offensive team. That defense, after losing Eric Berry and Derek Johnson, they're in the middle of the pack. They're not that team that was known for their defense about 5-6 years ago. So this team is definitely winning games based on that offense. So they're going to have to protect him and make sure he's on the field and give him more options. And this sort of contract, I don't know if they can continue to do that. So to me, where you're locking in the best player potentially in the NFL or the most hyped player right now, does that hurt you on the back end,
Yeah, and you know what? This contract is actually going to be backloaded. Years 8, 9, and 10, $150 million in guarantees just for those 3 years. So they do actually have some flexibility in those first 7 years, and you can actually restructure after those first 7 years. And lots of options.
It's realistically thinking that he's going, do we really think he's going to put up these numbers for the next 10 years? You've now backloaded a contract where he'll produce less. So you'll be tied to him, paying him more with less production. So,
well, we don't know that. He might not. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to get worse.
He's not. I mean, he's not going to get worse. But to say that he's going to put up the same numbers in years 8, 9, 10, it remains to be seen. And obviously, we'll see here as he moves forward in his career. But I just think that there might have been a better way of doing this. I mean, we've seen this in other sports. I mean, Bryce Harper, Manny Machado have tied their franchises now into not being able to spend a lot of money. Luckily for the Padres, they have young talent that they can bring up. They made a few trades. Phillies kind of stuck. I don't know what the Chiefs think they're gonna do, because they're gonna make the playoffs every year, so your draft pick's not gonna be great, and they're gonna have to pray that players want to come and play with Mahomes and take some less money.
I think that players will want to play with Mahomes and be coached by Andy Reid.
Oh,
I think they're going to be Super Bowl contenders for the next 12 years, every year of that contract. This was the right move by them, I think. Maybe the contract could have been structured a little bit differently. You're right, but at the end of the day, they're Super Bowl contenders if they have Patrick Mahomes on the team, which they do now for the next 12 years. So
definitely. And that is just what we think. Please let us know what you guys think down below. I'm sure everybody has an opinion. Please hit that like button and the subscribe button, and let us know once again whether you agree with me, whether you agree with Gordon, whether you have your own opinion. We just want to hear it. And we hope to hear from you all soon and see you very soon.